Namaste, hello, and welcome back to another video on the Metaphysical Library. My name is Awhona, and this is a video about my pile of possibilities for Ktropeathon. Now, Ktropeathon is a month-long readathon which will be running in the month of July, and it has been created and hosted by Christy from Dostoevsky in Space, and it has been co-hosted by Tiffany from Beautiful Minutiae and Yoon from dokja. I'll leave a link to their announcement videos in the description box below, as well as in the overhead cards above for all of you to cross-check. So do please join me further in this video. Now let's come around to Ktropeathon. So before I begin, I would like to really put a minute aside and appreciate the work which has gone in creating Ktropeathon along with its creative designs. I absolutely loved the bingo board. The designs were absolute and the color selection was beautiful. I also love the entire way in which Ktropeathon was designed. So thank you all the hosts as well as the creators who have actually put this together for all of us to participate and enjoy. It's a fun-filled readathon. I absolutely loved it, and I especially want to thank you and appreciate you for putting this together and bringing this out for us. And I hope that you will be able to host this regularly every year, and it does become a thing on Booktube. So let's come around to the readathon. So the first section is Kpop, which has prompts which are readable. The second section is Klife, which has prompts which we can do and which we can absorb in our daily lives. And the third is kdrama, which has prompts which are watchable, as well as a couple of readable prompts as well. So coming to Kpop, which does have readable prompts, the first prompt is to read a book which has abbreviations or has clever wordplay. So for that I have chosen, I do have two books. I hope I'll be able to finish at least one. If I do have time, I'll go for the second book as well. So the first is Axie's XOXO, which translates to Hugs and Kisses, and this is about this girl who is a cellist and and she moves to Seoul, and she has this friend whom she's very close to called Jae-woo, and she finally discovers that Jae-woo is not only a student, but he is also from one of the very famous K-pop boy bands. And then K-pop boy bands are not allowed to have girlfriends and have a romantic social life, but somehow both of them have to get together, and the story follows from there. And we do have our main protagonist who also has lots of problems in her personal life, and how they bring a solution to all of this while staying together as well is what this book is about. So I believe that's the storyline. I'm not too sure, but I'm not going to read from the back of the book because that's going to take a while. I don't want to unnecessarily stretch this video, but then yes, that's the first book that I'll be reading. The second book is Rebel Seoul, which is also by Axie, and this is about it's set up in futuristic Seoul, wherein there is a raid which is going on, and there's a war which is there, and there are alliances, and also there is this protagonist who has to find her way out, or find his way out. I'm not too sure about whether the protagonist is a he or a she, but then yes, that's what this story is briefly based upon. The second prompt is to read a book which is a trendsetter. So for this, I did pick up a story which is probably inspired by the group Blackpink, and it's a duology, of course. So I hope I'll be able to get through them. So the first one is K-pop Confidential, and the second one is K-pop Revolution, and they both look like they are inspired from the group Blackpink. So the first book follows our main protagonist, who is from, I believe she's from America. I'm not too sure which place. She's Candice from, and she's a Korean American, and she's selected for a K-pop group from millions of candidates. And then it's all about her life in the K-pop industry, and how she has to become a role model, as well as how she has to deal with stress, and what all comes and what all challenges come with it, and what inspires her and what transpires from within her as well. So it's a very interesting read, following the journey of a star and a popular band in K-pop. And K-pop Revolution follows it further, wherein there is competition and there's action, and things get really spicy from there. And there's also love brewing from between one girl band and another boy band. So these are two books that I would like to read for prompt number 2, which is the trendsetter. And the third prompt is dating scandal. So for this, I have chosen the book Lynn, Ashwood's Comeback, which is obviously a K-pop novel. This was recommended by Christy from Christy Louis Dostoevsky in Space, and I believe this is about this K-pop boy member who is involved in an affair, and things take off from there. So I'm not too sure about it, but then the storyline is probably from that, so I don't want to go too deep into it. But yes, there is dating scandal as well. And the next group book, which is I believe it is Once Upon a K-pop, is something which I'll be listening to on Audible as well, and I believe it's got all the elements which were mentioned before. So hopefully, I hope that I'll be able to get through it this July, and those will be the prompts for K-pop. Now, coming to K-life, we have prompts wherein first we have to try and see if we can buy Korean food or make something from a Korean recipe. So I'll decide what to do when over the period of time, because I'm not too sure about it now. The second is to make a fan-made video, or probably try fan art or something. So what I have done is, because I don't know much about the group Blackpink, but I do appreciate their music, I have tried to collect one of these books, which is Pretty Isn't Everything, and I'll be reading this book and trying to know more about this group. And I also have their merchandise, which is their journal, and I hope I'll be able to get through, because I do love their music. I do love the way that they have put things together and the way their music is produced, but I don't know much about the group actually, as well as what their music is all about. My favorite group personally is Athis and BTS, but I've not really gone into BTS too much, although I've heard that BTS has lots of things which are related to Carl Jung. But I'm going to be focusing on Athis, as well as whose lyrics are absolutely inspiring, as well as Blackpink. I have also tried to put together a fan-made video of K-pop groups, but that is my favorite groups. But I'm still working on putting the disclaimer so that it doesn't get a copyright strike. So let's see. I hope I'll be able to post it during the beginning of the month, and I hope you all will enjoy it. So that is my plan for prompt number 2. And the third prompt is to try a K-beauty tip, which I'll be trying as well. So I'll let you know what exactly I try. And I've also come across a webtoon book which is called True Beauty by Yoongi, and it's a very interesting book. It's a trilogy. The third one is supposed to come out, or supposed to be released, on 7th of November 2023. So this is the first of the series. I am expecting the second of the series very soon, during the next forthcoming week, and I'll be reading this as well. Of course, this is not a reading prompt, but it does give a lot of information about all that goes on in the K-beauty industry. So it's a good information, and because it's in a beautiful webtoon format, I absolutely would love to read this as well. So I would be reading that for K-Life. And the third section is K-drama. So within the K-drama section, we have the first prompt as to read a book which has destiny or fate in it. So for this, I have chosen a K fantasy. In fact, there are two books which I've chosen, so I hope I'll be able to get through at least one of them. And both of these books are inspired by K dramas. So one of them is by Axie, and this is The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. And this is not exactly the same, but it is also inspired by everything to deal with the sea. So this follows our main protagonist, who is very beautiful, and she lives in a village, and she has a brother who is very fond of her, and she is supposed to be sacrificed to the sea god in a ritual for which involves her community to appease the sea dragon god, who tries to bring about calamity through the sea, like a tsunami, etc. So this beautiful girl is, when she comes of age, is sacrificed. Her brother, who is very fond of her, jumps into the sea after her, and it is this girl who has to travel to the sea god and wake up the sleeping dragon, so as to ensure that she can find her brother, and things can work out from here. So it's a fantasy series, it's all on the sea, so I found this very beautiful. And similar to this, I did find another K-drama, which is The Legend of the Sea, which deals with a mermaid. And of course, they are two completely different stories, but then yes, the bottom line is that it is related to the sea, as well as the elements of the sea. So here we have a sea dragon, and in the K-drama we have a mermaid, and how she works her way in the land. And I'm not too sure much about the exact story, but yes, it's a retelling of The Little Mermaid. And the other book which I would really love to read, which is also inspired by K-drama, is Wicked Fox by Cat Cho. And this is a duology. I hope I'll be able to get through the first one, because I had picked up this book for another readathon, which was I believe Shiftathon, but unfortunately I could not get to it at all. So I hope I'll be able to finish it this month. And this follows our a protagonist who is a fox, but she is half fox and half. She's not half fox. She's actually a fox, and she has cultivated into transform into a human being as well. She ends up saving a boy, and she falls in love with him, and that is against the rules of what her mother has taught her, that in Korean, fox women are called gumihos, and she has to either make a choice of saving the boy whom she loves, or losing her gumiho soul. So that is what this entire book is about. So this brings me to one of the other K-dramas, which is My Girlfriend is a Gumiho, which is supposed to be about this girl who is supposed to be a fox, and she happens to be the girlfriend of a man, and what they go through. And also there is another K-drama which is inspired by Gumihos, or it's called Nine-Tailed Fox. And obviously this is something which I have watched before, but I would really like to rewatch it. So those are the few K-dramas, as well as a few books which I would like to read for this particular prompt. The next prompt is to read a book which has flowers and petals on it, or maybe is inspired by flowers and petals. So for this, I do have a non-fiction book, and I'm sorry I did look down, because my books are on the table over here. So this is by Barbara J. Zitwers, and it's called The Korean Book of Happiness, Joy, Resilience, and the Art of Giving. So this is something which is culturally seen predominantly within the works and within the lifestyle of the Korean people. So I found this very interesting, and it has flowers and petals on it, obviously, so it does work very well for this particular prompt. So Then last prompt is to watch the hospital playlist. So I definitely will be watching it, and that completes the entire Ktropeathon. There are also reading sprints, and there is a prayer meet as well, and there is a collab video which is supposed to have recommendations for K-drama. So I'm really looking forward to it, so that I can try and watch the other recommendations by other booktubers who are also fans of Korean drama. So that's all I have for you today, and I'm really excited to start off with this readathon. And do let me know if you are reading any of these books as well, if you would like to buddy read. There's another thing that I would like to share as well, which is that I probably will be traveling during the month of July as well as in August, but I'm not too sure about the dates. That's not really decided. But yes, I probably will be listening to a lot of audiobooks as well, and there could be a possibility that I might be a bit late in sharing all the books that I read and my thoughts and opinions on them. However, I definitely will try and keep you all updated every week, because this is supposed to be a tri-weekly channel, but because I have not posted on this particular channel for quite some time, I probably will be posting every week, and there could be a possibility that there might be 2 or 3 videos in a week, so as to ensure that I do have some content of this readathon on this channel. So I just wanted to keep you all updated about this. So I'll see you soon in another video. So till then, take care, have a good reading week ahead, and namaste.